You know that feeling. The one where it seems like some people just walk through life with a lucky charm in their pocket. They stumble into the perfect job, meet the right person, catch every break, while you're just trying not to get caught in the rain. It feels like you're just plain unlucky. But what if I told you that luck isn't a magical force you're either born with or you're not? What if it's a system, a machine that you can actually build yourself? Now get this. That idea isn't some new age life hack. It's an ancient secret, an unspoken rule from a Roman philosopher and statesman named Seneca from way back in the day. And this one sentence, this is the key. It's the master key that unlocks a totally different way of seeing the world. It refrains luck from something that happens to you into something you can engineer. Exactly. It's one of those quotes that sounds super profound, right? You see it on a poster and you nod along. But what does preparation meets opportunity actually mean for you and me today? How are you supposed to prepare? And where in the world are these opportunities hiding? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to decode this powerful idea and turn it into a practical toolkit you can start using the second this explainer is over. So welcome to Unspoken Rules. This is where we pull back the curtain on the hidden systems that run our lives. And the very first unspoken rule we need to tackle is this one. You've got to unlearn everything you think you know about luck. Seriously, forget the four-leaf clovers, forget lucky numbers, all of it. The biggest myth we're sold is that luck is this random, cosmic lottery that we have absolutely no say in. Just think about the way we talk, right? Someone gets a promotion and we say, wow, you got so lucky. Or something goes wrong and it's, ugh, what bad luck. It's like we're talking about the weather, something that just happens to us. That's the passive view. But the people who seem to consistently win in life, they don't see it that way. They see luck as an active system. A machine they can build, fine-tune, and point in the direction of their goals. And today, we're handing you the blueprints.
Okay, so if luck isn't just random chance, then what is it? We can actually take Seneca's ancient wisdom and break it down into a simple but incredibly powerful equation. This is the engine at the core of the luck machine, and it has nothing to do with magic. It's all about understanding two key variables and how they crash into each other.
See, here's the thing. Luck isn't one single thing. It's the collision point. It's the intersection of two totally different forces. On one side, you have preparation. This is your internal world, your skills, your knowledge, your mindset. It's 100% within your control. And on the other side, you've got opportunity. That's the external world. An event, a conversation, a changing market. It's mostly outside your direct control. And that spark, that thing we call luck, it only happens right where those two things meet. So let's really dig into preparation. This is the foundation of everything. It's the grinding. It's the hours you spend practicing an instrument while your friends are out. It's reading the book that no one assigned to you. It's doing one more rep at the gym when your body is telling you to quit. It's all the tireless, unglamorous, and totally invisible work you do in the dark when there is no one around to applaud. Now for the other side of the equation, opportunity. And listen closely, because this is the big secret. Opportunities aren't rare. They are everywhere, all the time. But here's the catch. They're often disguised as problems, or boring meetings, or just random chance encounters. They have a kind of cloaking device, you know? They are silent signals that can only be picked up by a mind that's been tuned to the right frequency through preparation. To an unprepared person, a life-changing opportunity just looks like another Tuesday. And this whole luck equation thing, it's not some theory I just cooked up. It's powered by a rugged, battle-tested philosophy from over 2,000 years ago called Stoicism. I mean, this was the operating system for Roman emperors, playwrights, merchants, and today it's used by Super Bowl winning coaches, tech founders, and elite military leaders. This isn't just philosophy, it's a practical guide for thriving when the world is chaotic. The Stoics broke their system down into 3 core disciplines. Think of them as 3 training areas. And the first one is the discipline of perception. This is all about learning to see the world as it actually is, not as your emotions want you to see it. It's about training your mind to be clear and objective, to strip away the drama of fear or panic or ego. And this just shows you, right? This isn't some dusty old philosophy sitting on a library shelf. It's a living, breathing tool for self-mastery. It's an operating system for human beings that's as relevant today as it was in ancient Rome, designed for the pressures of the real world. This idea is a total game changer. The Stoics figured out that we don't actually react to events themselves. We react to our judgments and our opinions about those events. So, by learning to control your perceptions, you stay calm, you stay objective. And guess what?
A calm, objective mind is the only kind of mind that can spot an opportunity hiding inside a crisis. A panicked mind will miss it every single time.
So how do you actually do this? Well, the Stoics gave us a simple, powerful exercise called the Dichotomy of Control. Anytime something happens that upsets you, you just pause. Step 1, strip away the story and ask, what is factually happening right now? Step 2, ask the most important question of all, is any part of this within my direct control? And step 3, if the answer is yes, you act. If the answer is no, you practice acceptance. That's it. This is how you train your mind. All right, so once you start seeing the world more clearly, it's time to get your hands dirty. That brings us to the second pillar, the discipline of action. This is the preparation part of our equation in real time. It's all about taking deliberate, focused, and purposeful action to build that foundation of skill, knowledge, and character. I mean, think about this. This isn't coming from some productivity guru. This is a note written by the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius to himself, probably in a freezing cold tent on the battlefield somewhere. He's reminding himself that real preparation comes down to our daily habits. Do the task in front of you. Speak clearly. Think clearly. No excuses.
I absolutely love this analogy from Marcus. Real preparation, real work, is about doing the work for its own sake. A grapevine doesn't throw a party or ask for a round of applause after it makes grapes, right? It just does its job, and then it immediately gets ready to do it all over again next season. That's the mindset. Do good work, then move on to the next thing. That's how you build a deep, powerful reserve of readiness. Okay, so you can see clearly, and you're taking the right actions. But what happens when you fail? When you get rejected? When life just punches you in the gut? Because it will. That's where the third and final discipline comes in, the discipline of will. This is about forging an inner citadel, a resilience shield that can endure hardship and keep you in the game long enough for opportunity to finally show up.
This quote from Seneca is so deep. What he's teaching us is that real strength, real resilience, isn't loud and braggy. It's not about puffing your chest out. It's a quiet, internal fortitude. It's the wisdom you earn when you go through something tough and you learn from it instead of just complaining about it.
The Stoics didn't just sit around waiting for bad things to happen. They trained for it. They deliberately practiced what we'd call voluntary discomfort. Maybe they'd take a cold shower or sleep on the floor for a night or fast for a day. They weren't trying to punish themselves. They were building mental calluses. They were inoculating themselves against future hardship, proving to themselves that they could handle it. This shield ensures that when a real crisis hits, you don't shatter. You bend, you adapt, and you keep moving. So, let's put it all together. We have the pieces now. We have these three ancient, powerful disciplines: perception, action, and will. And now we can assemble them into a complete modern system for manufacturing your own luck. So here is how this incredible system works together. First, the discipline of perception acts like your radar. You train it to filter out the noise and spot the hidden opportunities everyone else is missing. Second, the discipline of action is your workshop. It's where you relentlessly build your skills and knowledge. So when that opportunity finally appears, you are absolutely ready to seize it. And finally, the discipline of will. That's your armor. That's the resilience that lets you take the hits, learn from your failures, and just stay in the game long enough for your preparation and opportunity to finally have their meeting.
And that's the ultimate unspoken rule, isn't it? Luck is not a lottery ticket you hope to find. It is the predictable outcome of a disciplined process. It's the result of your character, your actions, and your mindset, day in and day out. So stop waiting around hoping to get lucky. It's time to start building the machine that creates it. And that brings us to the end. But before you click away, there's one last unspoken rule we have to cover. You could say it's the one that makes this whole community work. You can't leave without leaving a mark. So your preparation for our next explainer is to hit that subscribe button. The opportunity to share your own wisdom is waiting for you in the comments. Tell us one unspoken rule that you live by. And of course, make sure you ring that notification bell so opportunity never ever catches you unprepared. Thanks for watching.